Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Thursday's session with me today. Josh is out working on a horse ranch, actually, so he's gone all day. So I said I'd take over for today. So we're going to do something a little bit different today. So you guys have pretty much been well seasoned into foam rolling now. We've done quite a few sessions with our videos, classes with stretching and foam rolling. So today we're going to kind of combine the both with just a little bit of like movement, corrective exercise. And this is just kind of showing different ways to foam roll, to get some stretching in, to get a little bit of exercise. So this one, I guess you could say, might be a little bit more advanced foam rolling. I wouldn't suggest, if you're watching this and you haven't done any past foam rolling or have watched any of our videos, I would highly suggest you watch those videos first before diving into this one, because this one's going to have a lot more movement, a lot more different variations of stretching with the foam rollers and with the peanuts. So I would suggest going back to those first before diving into this one. This one we're probably going to make for free so that everybody can kind of follow along and see how this one works as well. What we call like advanced foam rolling, exercising, stretching. We haven't quite figured out a name for it yet, but this is going to be fun. So, and you're going to get a good little workout in and get some movement and also feel nice and loose afterwards, because we're going to be incorporating some trigger points with the foam roller, with the peanut. So I'll be going back and forth. So if you have a peanut or a ball to use, where's my ball? I didn't grab my ball. But like a lacrosse ball, the Kong balls are also great too. You can use one of those. Or if you have just the foam roller, that's great too. We'll do different variations of both. So just follow along and let's get started. So it's gonna be full body. So we're gonna go through all variations of shoulders, all the way down to our feet and glutes. Legs and glutes, and just go from there. So it'll be a nice little workout exercise, foam rolling. Here we go. So we're starting up top. If you want to do a quick warm up, feel free to pause and do some light stretching, do some light movement just to get some blood flow in your body, kind of feel where you're tight. This past week, I actually had quite a back flare up, and I have no idea what happened or what I did. But Josh has really been working on me the last few days, trying to figure out what is so tight on my body. So I'm really kind of still cockeyed with my hips, and of course in turn my shoulders get a little uneven as well too. So I've been working with that all week, so bear with me if you hear a little grunting and stuff. Today's my first day that I actually feel really good since Monday, and here it is Thursday, so about 4 days later. But in the past, when my back has had flare-ups, it's lasted weeks. So, and for this to only last 4 days has been awesome, and I'm so happy for that. So forgive me for if I move a little funky. It's still a little tiny bit tight on my right side, pinching back here, but for what it has in the last few days, it's actually really great today. So we're going to start with our upper body. We're going to start with the foam roller, but I'm going to suggest doing the peanut first, because we're going to go along the spine first, and then we'll get into our shoulders and kind of move down. So just do a little quick warm up. Josh would say, don't do this, but we're warming up. This is going to be a movement-based foam rolling exercise, workout, tension-free class. So we're just going to roll up and down. Make sure your abs are nice and squeezed, shoulders are relaxed. Extend the arms up, go all the way down, get on tops of your toes. Move your arms around, feel what's tight. Lean to one side versus the other, and go to the other side and see what's tighter versus the other side, is what I was trying to say. Make sure you're breathing. So again, we're just warming up, feeling what's tight so that you are aware of what's tight and what you would need to focus on once we get to those certain spots. This whole area, this band around my back is still pretty tight, not as bad as it was before, like I said, but I really want to focus on spine first. So If you have the foam roller, great. If you have a peanut, that's great too. So go ahead and go to your foam roller if you don't have a peanut, because we're going to go down both sides of our spine. So using a single ball really wouldn't work on this one. So we're going to start just right up here in between our rhomboids, right below the tops of our traps. So find where you can position yourself on here. Make sure it is on either side of your spine. And this part in the middle is where your spine is going to actually go down and sit right in between there. So, and then just kind of wiggle around. Okay, here we go. So you can put a pillow here or you can relax your head back. I'm just going to relax my head back. Don't try and keep your head up because it will create more tension here. So relax your head back. Oh, straighten your arms right in front of you this way. Feet are wherever you are comfortable. You can be straight, you can be bent. I'm going to keep my legs bent. We're going to rotate our hands. We're just going to open and close them. And we're moving. Opening and close. And again, just a few more times here. So really feeling those rhomboids wrap around that peanut. Or if you don't have a peanut, you will be laying your hands just on top of your foam roller, which is okay too. If you need to put them down underneath your foam roller so you can get all the way down to the ground or on top, you can do that as well too. But for me, if you have a peanut, or whoever's watching, if you have a peanut, just keep them directly out to your side. And two more times here. Last one, and open. Lift that head up. Bring your hands behind your head and slowly inch down just about an inch or two. Okay. Bending at the elbows, same thing, relaxing the head down. So now the peanut is just a little bit further down from where we started. And we're going to lay our head back again. Elbows are bent this time. Really try and aim for the elbows to the ground. So this will be a nice chest stretch for anybody who can't get your elbows down to the ground. You're really going to try and aim for that. So I would suggest trying to aim for your arms, for your hands as well to reach the ground. But if you can't, really aim for those elbows first. And if you can get there, then push for those hands to touch the ground too. And you will feel even tighter that wrap around the peanut, or even open up more on your foam roller. So if you're on your foam roller, you're just going to open up to lay them flat on your foam roller at a 90 degree. And then we're going to move from here. So here we go. Hope you can hear me. Relaxing the head back, keeping those abs nice and tight, but still a little bit of a stretch in there too. So elbows are back, hands are back. If you can't, so you are here, try and relax some part of your arm, whether it be your shoulders, whether it be your elbows, and your hands are still up here, but you will feel a nice stretch here. So we're just going to extend the arms above the head and back down to your 90. And again. And back down. Make sure you're breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. Good. Two more times here. Really try and push those shoulders down too. One more time. And back down. Good. Rotate those down the other way. Lift your head if you need to. And really give your body a nice crunch up top so you can get a good stretch in that upper back. Take your hands behind your head and get even more of a stretch. And now from here, roll it down just a little bit more. So now we're going to be about mid-back now, okay? Let me just fix myself. I think I rolled a little crooked here. Okay, here we go. So If this gets a little bit too intense on the pressure, you can put like a pillow or something underneath you here so that you're not laying all the way back on here, because this is going to give you more of an arch in your back. So be cautious, be aware. Again, refer to other past foam rolling videos if you haven't done this one before. So when you are foam rolling your back, really make sure that those abs are nice and tight and that you're not just splaying open, because it really could kink your back because you are giving it an arch, and we are going to be here for just a minute or so. So really try and keep those abs tight, feel what your body's feeling, and be safe. So let's go ahead and relax back. Good. Hands are going to reach down to your side. So reach as far as you can, all the way to your heels if you can. You're aiming for, you're not actually reaching for them, but you are aiming to reach for your heels. So pushing that down, you should feel a nice stretch in your shoulders and in your traps. And we're just going to lean to one side. You can lift your head if you need. Again, don't put too much stress on your neck. So if you've ever done an ab workout like this before, working your obliques, this is kind of the same thing. You're just kind of going back and forth to each side of your spine, putting a little bit more pressure on one side versus the other as you switch. Again, relax the head if you need to. If you need to lift it up just a little bit so you can get some more movement, that's okay too. We're not going to be here too much longer. Make sure you're breathing. Oof, keep reaching as far as you can. Ooh, I got a little pop. Oh, one more time. Nice. Oh man, hands behind the head. Relax that head into your hands and come and stretch down. Open up those elbows. Big deep breath. And lift the head and chest. Get a nice stretch. Really pull those abs in nice and tight. And let's move it down just a little bit more. So now we're just above like our sacrum area of our lower back. Okay, here we go. So we're going to stay up on our elbows this way. So now we're just going to do a little bit of pelvic articulation here with this one. So I am right about here on my back. So move down to where you feel kind of that ridge right above your sacrum area. So up on your elbows. Whew. And from here, we're just going to do a couple of pelvic curls because it's going to put a little bit more pressure here. And it's going to give you a nice little stretch in your low back too. And you'll feel a lot of pressure in this area here. So again, keeping those abs nice and tight, keeping the glutes nice and tight, and relaxing back down. And again, squeeze, engage the abs, engage the glutes, lift. Make sure you're breathing, and back down. If this is enough pressure for you too, that's totally okay. You can just stay here and hang out. If you need a little bit more pressure, you can just lift your hips up off the ground and just relax it back down. So we're just lifting our glutes as high as you can, not too much pressure, and back down. So we're really kind of just massaging this area. I wouldn't say massage, but applying pressure. One more time, lifting, squeezing the abs, squeezing the glutes, breathing, and back down. Good, we're gonna stay here for one more, a little exercise here. So pull the feet in a little bit closer to you. Bring your knees about shoulder, hip width apart, and we're just gonna drop side to side. So again, you're gonna feel each side more than the other as you drop those knees down. If you need to hold your peanut or your foam roller, you can. So if you had the foam roller for this one, your elbows would be wrapped around your foam roller. I'll have to pull it out for you. Just one sec. Let's do one more each side. So I like to do variations of foam rolling. I like to move, like to stretch while applying these spots of pressure too. It gets blood flow. It gets a little bit of exercise in there too. And it just opens up your body in a whole different way that we're not used to. So that's why I kind of have this movement going with my foam rolling. So again, I wouldn't suggest just diving right into something like this unless you are really seasoned with foam rolling and really seasoned with stretching, things like that. So let me show you just on that last one what it would be with the foam roller. So you're just gonna drape over here. Same thing, you're just gonna put your elbows back here. So you would be a little bit more into a stretch on your chest. That's okay too. If it's too much pressure, just sit up right on your elbows and then you can just lift from here too. So it gives you a little bit more of an upright position because the foam roller is bigger. So in the peanut, whereas you apply a little bit more pressure because you're laying back on it more. So if you have both, go back and forth. If you just have the foam roller, it's going to work just as great too. So let's go down to our sacrum. And this is one of my favorite ones. So if you're on your sacrum with your foam roller, sit up on it and then roll down to your elbows and then slowly come here to where you're in almost like a bridge position. Same thing with the peanut. You can start on the floor. Oh. And then just slowly lift your hips up and it's going to be just right above your glutes, right on your sacrum. And you're just going to have it on either side of your spine again. So here we go. Keeping the glutes nice and tight. Abs are nice and tight. So from here, we're just going to do a little bit of curling with your hips. It's not going to be much. You're just going to tuck your hips under and then just untuck them here. Nice little massage. So if you need to hold your peanut or your foam roller with your hands, you can do that as well. But again, nothing is moving except your pelvis where you're tucking and then untucking. Keeping the abs nice and tight. Just a couple more here. So here you can really see if you are uneven because you'll feel more pressure on one side versus the other side. You might even feel uneven doing this like I do. I feel my right side is totally leaning on that side and my left side is just non-existent. So that kind of shows me stuff that I need to work on as well. Obviously, tucking and then untucking. Let's just do one more tuck and untuck. And then untuck here. Good. Now what we're going to do is make sure that you are nice and stable here too. If you have lower back problems like me or any past problems, I would really, really make sure that you are comfortable with this before, because we're going to apply a lot of pressure to this area. But if you're not comfortable with it, again, don't do it. You can do simple variations of it. So all we're doing is just lifting one knee. You can tuck and let it roll just a little bit, or you can just keep it there, the same spot, and then just pull that knee towards your chest as much as you can, and then back down, and then switching to the other side. That's all we're doing. Good. And other side. Nice and slow. We don't want to do too much on this area. One more time, other side. Nice and slow. Keep the abs nice and tight. Support whatever you are doing in your movement by engaging certain muscles so that it supports your structure and that everything can work in sync together. And we're just going to do one circle on the right side. So lifting that knee and then circling out to the side. Ooh, you might feel a little bit on the outside of that glute, and then just coming right back the same way, bringing that knee back up, back to the center, and then plant the foot back down again. Same thing, other side, lifting that knee up towards your chest, rotating it out towards the side. Oh, this feels so good. And then back up, getting that knee back up to your chest, and back down. That felt so good. I'm going to do it again. If you need to take a break and pause or just stop altogether on this one, that's totally okay too. But try it again, keeping the abs nice and tight, and then all the way out to the side. Woo. It feels so good on my glutes. And back in. Other side. Make sure you're breathing and rotating it out. Have a little crunch in my hip. And back up. Good. And relax it back down. Nice. Lifting up, pulling your foam roller or your peanut out, and just rotating your knees side to side. Hopefully that is feeling pretty good for you guys, because that is one of my favorite ones to do, even on the foam roller. So I'm going to do one more on the foam roller because it's not as much of a pressure as the peanut is, and you can lift both legs up off the ground when you're on the foam roller. So let's do that one real quick. So if you have your foam roller, go ahead and take your foam roller. Put your peanut away for now. So go back to your sacrum area. We're just going to do this one time because we don't want to do too much on the same area. So hands on the foam roller or behind your head or just relaxed. So all we're going to do is, so if you had your foam roller, we're just going to do it real quick so you can see what it would be. It would just be out here and then back up and then back down. Same thing, other side. You can kind of go a little bit quicker on with the foam roller because it's not as much pinpointed pressure as it is with the peanut. So it's more of a broad pressure, kind of getting that whole strap across the back on your lower back, which is great too. So you can hang out here longer on this than you can with the peanut. So for here, we're going to lift both knees up, keeping those abs nice and tight, lifting both knees up. You're just going to pull those knees toward, again, hold your foam roller because it will roll out from under you. So holding that foam roller with your hands, pulling those knees towards your chest, and then back down. And it gives just such a nice massage on your lower back that I mean, I used to do this every day, pre-kids. And back here, and back down. One more time. Keeping those abs nice and tight. And also from here, if you don't feel comfortable to do this one, that's okay too, but just so you can see, you can, again, do other variations of rotation here. So where it gets the outside of your hip and your glutes, and then you can go back the other way. I mean, I can hang out here forever on this area of my body. It needs the most work. And so I love this area. And also too, I mean, not to get too personal, but for women in your periods, like this area, especially during, before, after, I mean, it helps so much take that pressure off. So I would highly suggest incorporating this at least once a month around that time, and you'll notice a significant difference, trust me. So feet down, lifting up. Oof. Bring the knees to your chest. Give it a little massage, a little stretch. Okay, we're going to go to our, so we did our spine. We're going to go do a little variation on our shoulders, and then we're going to move to our hips and then our knees and ankles, and with a little bit of movement as well too. So let's get our foam roller. Going to go to your side. So we'll start with our left side. We're going to drape over this way. So this is getting right underneath where your lats and shoulders meet, right with your chest here too. So if you have a bigger chest, you can kind of move those out of the way, ladies, and just lay it on top of your foam roller. And you're going to be, so we're not going to be right underneath your, right in your armpit. We're just going to be right below it, kind of where your rib cages start. So you'll feel that hard ridge in there. So from here, we're going to lay over our foam roller, relaxing the head, taking that right arm up on top. Get a nice stretch on your right side, adding a little bit more pressure to that left side as you add this arm and add the stretch in. Big deep breaths. So lifting that right arm back down again and lifting up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bring this left arm underneath you, bring it straight out in front of you. We're gonna lay our head down. If you need a pillow here, you can do that as well. I don't have a pillow, so I'm just gonna wing it out. Get a nice stretch in my neck here. So we're here. We're just gonna, so bring the knees up to where you're comfortable. You're gonna open up this right arm and rotate back. Ooh. And it's gonna go along that whole ridge on the foam roller that you're gonna foam roll it out. I don't want to say massage. I keep getting into that word, but reaching forward and then open it up and back. If you feel that spot right on the end as you open up your top arm, hold it. So we're gonna hold as we open up here. Woo. Breathing. Go a little bit further. Okay, okay. And come back here. And open. And come back, good. And relax it down. So probably suggest doing a pillow on that one. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to hold it very long. But you could take your elbow and just hold here and then stretch this arm forward and then open. You can do that too. I just like incorporating this bottom one because it does add a little bit more pressure to this area. So if I have my elbow here, good. If I have my elbow here, it doesn't add as much pressure. You'll feel it. So if you feel yourself relax and then bring up your hand, you'll feel the difference in pressure. So again, find your variation, find what works, and go for it. So let's go to the other side. Same spot. We're right underneath the armpit. We are right along that ridge where it gets hard from where your rib cage starts. And again, if you need to move these ladies out of the way, please do so. It's not very comfortable when they get in the way. Okay. I'm trying to see where I'm at. Here we go. Okay. Ooh, the hard spot on me. Okay. Bottom hands forward. Oh, I'm sorry. Lift this arm. And then we're going to lay our head down. Lift that left arm up above and meet the right arm. Take deep breath. And relax. Bring that arm back down. Reaching the right arm underneath you. And here we go. Get your pillow if you need. If not, hold it up like I am, but don't kink it too much so you can get a nice stretch in there too. So opening up that left arm. Ooh. Keeping those abs nice and tight. And come back. This side is so tight. Opening up. Oh my gosh. And come back. We're going to hold this next one. Ooh. Make sure you're breathing. Abs are nice and tight. Ooh, holding it here. Oh. And come back. One more time, open. Oh. And come back this way. Oh, perfect. And relax. Ooh. Oh, that felt so good though. Okay, let's move down to our hips. Actually, maybe we'll do a little chest one. Yeah, we'll do a little chest one and then we'll move down to our hips. So, little chest variation here. You probably have seen Josh do variations of this one too. So we're going to start on our upper chest. Oh, relaxing down here. Excuse my grunting. Squeezing the glutes, tucking the toes under. Give yourself some nice stability here. So we're going to start with our hands at a 90, leaning over the foam roller. So you want to drape your chest over the foam roller. Ladies, you're right above where your breast starts. So it's really that hard ridge underneath your collarbone. If you want to go up to your collarbone, you can too. So all we're just going to do is starting with their hands at a 90 from here, and we're just going to reach. Just reaching up. Whew. You may not be able to go very far, but that's okay. And coming back down. Keeping those toes tucked, keeping the glutes nice and tight, and reaching. Whew. And back down. And again, reach. As you reach, drop the hands down in front of you. Whew. Relax those shoulders draped around the foam roller. And then we're just going to lift that right arm and back down and left and back down. And again, repeating the other side. Really try and reach further with each one. Head can be relaxed, head can be lifted. It doesn't really put too much of a strain unless you are lifted up here, but that's also a different variation too. So let's keep our head either neutral or down and lifting the left arm and back down. Both together on the last one, so big deep breath. Squeezing the glutes, tucking those toes and lifting both. Reach, reach. And relaxing back down. Whew. Stretch it out. Hopefully that felt good for you. Challenging. That one's always challenging for me. Like if you ever tried to lay on the ground, this is a really good indicator too of how strong our rotators are. Just picking up those arms with the perfect 90 and seeing how far your hands can go. That's what got me into doing that one. So this is a good one for anybody too who's really trying to get bigger rear delts or really try and figure out what's going on shoulder wise. Lay on the ground flat, get those elbows out to a perfect 90, seeing where they lay flat. My right one lays completely flat on the ground versus my left. So, and it also rotates better than my left side too. So that's a good one for you guys to do as a little warm up or just a little stretch part of your exercise. All right, let's go to our hips. Whew. Let's start on our right side since we're here. So I'm going to get into this ridge here. So if you extend your leg out, it's going to just be right in that dip area right here. So not up here on top of it. We're just going to get right in here. So here we go. There's different ways to get into this, but I'm just going to try and gracefully do as much as I can. So down on your elbow. Too much pressure here, come up on your hand, but we are going to be moving. So I would suggest finding where you are going to be stable. So bending that top left knee, straightening out that bottom right leg, finding that spot on that hip right in that ridge area. And then here we go. You're just going to lift and back down. Adds a little bit more pressure, yeah. And back down. Make sure you're breathing. Lift and back down. And lift and back down. So we're going to lift and hold and pulse for 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And relax. Lift again and hold for 10 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Relax. Bend that knee in and just roll up a little bit. Whew. And relax. Whew. Nice. Go to the other side. So again, finding that crease. So if you need to have a little cheat here, so extending that leg out, and you're again finding that crease right in that glute and hip area. And that's where you want to be. So right in here. Again, up on your hand, down on your elbow, find where you are stable. Find that spot in that left hip area, bending that left knee, keep you nice and stable. Bending that foot. Flexing the foot, sorry. Okay, my pocket's getting in the way, sorry. Okay, here we go. And we're lifting. And back down. And lift. I'm so unstable on this side versus the other side. And lift. If you're stable on both sides, good for you. If you're uneven like me, that's okay. We're all, it's called being human, right? Last one. And hold for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relax. Woo. And again, lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good, relax. Woo. Rolling it up. Stretch it out. Nice. And relax. Good. Woo. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Shake it out. We're going to go down to our knees. We're kind of hitting the joints today. We did our spine, did our shoulders, hips. Now we're going to our knees. So just hitting these major spots where all of our attention is held can really do a lot if you want to get a full body in. That's why I like to add different variations of movement, adding more pressure, getting a little bit of workout into. So it really opens up the body in a good way. So as I hope you're feeling right now too. So lifting up, finding those spots right in the crease of your knee. So you might not be able to get as much tension with the foam roller as you would the peanut, but for movement and exercise sake, we're going to keep with the foam roller. If you need more pressure, feel free to go for the peanut or a ball. You can use a ball on this one too, but I would suggest sticking with the peanut or the foam roller because you might roll off the ball and it will keep your body in a stability, balanced state, so it wouldn't relax over it necessarily. But for what we're doing, I think that would be okay because we're going to be engaging anyway. So go ahead and try what feels comfortable for you on this. We're just getting right in the crease of your knee and hamstring where they meet. So starting with the left, finding where you're comfortable, lifting that right leg on top of your left knee. Again, if that's too much pressure, find where you're comfortable. If you don't need the pressure, just take your foot off completely. I need the pressure a little bit. So I'm just going to lift it here. So flexing that bottom foot, and we're just going to lift. So a little bit of workout here, keeping your abs nice and tight, glutes are nice and engaged. Keeping those feet flexed, we're just gonna rotate and come back, and then rotate out. And come back, and rotate in. And come back, and rotate. So your leg is not completely straight, so don't flex your left leg out. We're not straight, we're kind of draping it over the foam roller. One more time each side, rotating in, and come back to the center, and rotating back out. Woo. And relax. Good, other side. So taking that left leg on top of that right knee, and flexing that right knee, right foot, rotating in, and come back. A workout for your triceps. So if you're shaking, okay. Or if this is easy for you, you can add a little bit more pressure by sticking your foot under something, like if you've ever done the foam rolling exercises with Josh on the calves. You stick your feet underneath the couch, something that has a lip underneath it, so that you add more pressure. Woo. One more each side. Having a hard time keeping my foot flexed. Side. And relax. Ooh, back to the center. Come down. Ooh, shake your arms out. Okay, here we go. down to your ankles now. So usually I would come here, but there's only so much. Since we just kind of lifted up our bodies, we're going to do a different variation here. I'm going to get the tops of my ankles because my feet and your feet spend a lot of time flexed. So I want to get kind of this area nice and open and nice and free. So again, another little exercise here, but it'll be nice and good. So getting on top. So if this is too much pressure here, just take one foot off and you're just gonna get right on top here. So just hold it here. So if you need more pressure, and that's okay. If you want to have both feet on here, bring your knees down, and then hands are nice and stable. So get your hands underneath your shoulders. Knees are almost touching. Lifting those knees up off the ground, and here we go. We're just gonna roll all the way up, not to your knees, but to like mid shin area, and then back down. And come back, keeping those feet flexed if you need. If you don't want your knees to touch the ground because you need more pressure, that's okay too. And it'll also give you a little bit of an ab workout. So we're just gonna hold it here, and you're gonna lift those knees up and back down. It's a slight movement because you're applying just a little bit more pressure. And back down. And lifting up. And back down. And lifting up. And back down. Good. One more time. And back down. Good. Relax. Shake out your feet. Ooh, nice little stretch. Okay, let's get this out. So let's go into some stretches. That will be all today for the foam rolling. So I hope that helped to open up just a little bit more spots in your body. Give you different variations to do with foam rolling. So don't be scared to get into funky different movements, get into funky different positions on the foam roller, because it's your body. You know, your body has different tension than my body, and so on and so on. So all of our bodies have a different story. All of our bodies have different tensions and ailments and injuries, etc. So my body is definitely not the same as anybody else's body. So if you're foam rolling and you feel like you need to move your arm, move your arm. But again, really focus on what you're feeling and make sure that you're supporting what you're doing too, so that you're not just freely doing it and kind of, you know, something might pop out of place. It won't pop out of place, but you might overextend or apply too much pressure that you might feel bruised, or not enough pressure where you still feel bruised because you didn't actually get in all the way. So adding in the movements and adding in different things like that will apply more pressure, and it will open up your body in a different way too. So let's just do some quick stretches, and then we will call it for tonight. Laying on your back. Oh. Hands out to the side, bring the knees up, feet together. And we're just gonna go side to side here, stretching out that spine that we just so freely foam rolled. Good. One more time each side. Good. And relaxing here, pulling one knee towards your chest, and relax, and pull, and relax, and pull one more time, and cross the body. My Rosie. Hi. Tony, say hi. Switch sides. Oh, sorry. Bringing that knee up, left knee up, and back down, and pull, and relax, and pull. Good. Cross the body, getting that left arm out. And come back. Good. Both knees up. Give yourself a little hug. pull the head in towards your knees. Stretch that spine out. Big deep breath. Relax. Okay, let's go ahead and stand up. Okay, just gonna do a simple roll down. So chin to your chest, rolling down, all the way touching your toes. Or if you can, just reaching for your toes, keeping the weight in the middle of our feet so we're not back on our heels, we're not forward on our toes. We're really trying to stay right on top of ourselves, right in the middle of our feet. So that's where you really want to feel the weight. So evenly on your toes and evenly on your heels. And just relaxing here. Bring the hands and elbows together and sway. Good. Hands down, bending one knee and switching and switch. And switch. And switch. Both knees straight, relax the knees, and slowly roll up. Okay. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you feel better. I'm going to do a lot more advanced foam rolling sessions or classes. I really enjoy doing that, and I really think that it gives you guys a different perspective on foam rolling, stretching, exercising, corrective exercise, whatever you want to call it, because it really does enhance your workouts or whatever you do, your hobbies, whether you hike, rowing, running. It can really add different variations to your body that it's not used to. So it'll open up your body again in different ways that aren't really familiar to your body. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you guys have a good night, and I hope we can see you again on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday we'll be here. Have a good night. Bye. Say bye, Rosie.